Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. How's it going tonight, guys? How's it going? It is time, I guess. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. It is time for a show. We've got quite a few topics to cover. There's so much going on right now. There's so much going on right now that I don't even know where to start. On the list of things to cover tonight, we have FBI screw-ups, swatting deaths, and commies want your name on a list, and more. And there is more of all of that. Okay. What is happening here? There we go. Okay, we're finding news stories as we go. But, all right. So, very good. Very good. What is this? The joint... What the fuck? Joint Chiefs Chairman feared potential Reichstag moment aimed at keeping Trump in power. Oh, we're going to have to watch that one. Yep, that's going to be good. The Reichstag was coming. It was coming to keep Trump in office. That's what was going to happen. Woo! These people. Okay. Anyway, I think I've got everything set up. During the daytime stream, I ignored the justice chats. I think there was only one. I did miss it, though. I'll read it now. It's from the Pie Baker. He said, "Hey, Nick, who won Matsuri this year? Vic's gay pants or your yarmulke pants? And why was it Vic's gay pants? P.S. Go back to the store and demand the rest of your pants." I'm sorry. I'm a dad, which means that every year that I get older, my pants get shorter. So, that's how it goes. Your pants get shorter and your socks get a little bit taller every year. That's what you do. Don the Gamer Guy says, "Tell my nephew to stop being a fig and watching TikTok." Okay. And to just yell it. Hey, Don the Gamer Guy's nephew, stop being a fig. Stop watching TikTok. What is wrong with you? What kind of embarrassment to humanity watches TikTok? There you go. I hope that helps. I hope you have a wonderful relationship with your nephew from now on. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we've got that, but there's so much more going on. In the world. Tucker Carlson just did a big expose on Fulton County, which I don't even know if I can talk about on YouTube. I mean, it's all backed up by data, but let's not let that get in the way of a message. But he just did a big expose on Fulton County. Turns out there's verifiable proof of some things being, let's say, imaged twice. And there's not a lot of answers. And there's some verifiable discrepancies with certain reports that were generated that seem to indicate some wrong numbers. I mean, who cares, right? Who cares? But so the problem ultimately is that, none of that stuff, there's not a current constitution. People keep griping at me about this, but there isn't a current constitutional mechanism to change the outcome of a presidential election. There just isn't. It's weird. I know. And everybody says, well, you can't certify fraud, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing, though. They did certify the results according to the constitutional process. So now we're at a conundrum of what to do. And people are using the nice and simple term, and it's really the best term to describe it. We're approaching the possibility of a constitutional crisis. A constitutional crisis would be, we have a big problem with what happened under the Constitution, and now we don't know how to fix it within the Constitution. So what do you do at that point? But that, of course, is only if the reports are correct and only if, there's enough. But there's another question going on with these audits. Why didn't they think of this? I want you to consider that they did. And that's a really uncomfortable thing to consider too. That's an uncomfortable thing to possibly confront, is that they figured in the possibility of a fraud or a mistake changing the outcome of an election. And that is just baked into the system. But again, the question becomes, what do you want to do about it? And we don't know. We don't have that answer. We don't have the data yet. That's the other problem. They don't want to give over the data. They haven't wanted to turn over that data for a long time. That data was requested long before any recount. That data was requested by a phone call, if you remember. By a phone call. Look, we have some questions. We just want to verify that your numbers and our numbers match, because our numbers show there's some problems. Nope. But no, look, we've got our numbers. We'd be happy to look at the data that you have and cross-reference it with our numbers and see what comes up. I mean, if our numbers are wrong, we want to have the right info. Nope. No data for you. That was that phone call. If you remember, that phone call was also the basis for accusing President Trump at the time of criminal interference with an election, which is of course ridiculous. The headlines were cherry picking a line from the conversation, taking it way out of its context, twisting the meaning, and then reprinting it as if that's what Trump had said. So that was fun. But that being said, this data is not newly requested. This has been something that's been going on since December of 2020. We're 8 months into the request for the data. Can you imagine? It's always baffling, right? To encounter the reality of complex systems that have been built over time. We have done these elections. We have done presidential elections since 1792, roughly, in this way, with no public verification of the numbers, no follow-up, no auditor reports, nobody ever even stopped and said, you know what? Why don't we just do a post-mortem, 6 months in after every election? We just gonna look at it again, see what happens. Maybe do a full-on count. We've never done it. Or we could, with the advent of the internet and technology, we could open up the numbers and the images, for example, to the public, and the public could crowdsource some public scrutiny. Nope. Never done it. Never done any of it. It's amazing when you think about the entire basis of our nation, and we're not alone in this. Does any nation allow public scrutiny of their election results anywhere on the planet. We're literally every single power seat on this planet that is democratically elected. The source of that power is dude, trust me. Like nobody verifies any of this stuff. There's not like an international board of election review that goes in and has a duty to audit all of these things. I mean, seems like a good investment for someone. To me, it's just it's an amazing thing. But that, like I said, there was another question here, and Marty actually is bringing it up, and Marty brought it up earlier in my Discord, and this is the other constitutional crisis. Marty Lund says, presidency nothing. It now looks like 2 U.S. Senate seats were possibly defrauded. Ossoff in Georgia, 55,000 votes, and Kelly in Arizona, 80,000 votes. No impeachment for senators. Well, technically you can impeach a senator. That is a possible thing to do. State recall for incorrect senators, ? 10th Amendment, ? And this comes from the idea that senators were not always popularly elected. They were not always popularly elected. In fact, early on, since senators were representatives of the states, not of the people in the states, but the state legislatures themselves, they elected their senators by vote of the legislature. So an act of Congress is what would send the two senators to Washington. That was changed by, I think, the 17th Amendment. But the interesting question, though, is before, if you had a senator that wasn't doing what the state wanted, they had the ability by an act of the legislature to recall the senator. Do they now? Because now they're not elected by the Congress, but that language is still in the Constitution. Now they're popularly elected. How do you pull one back? So let's say hypothetically, nothing can be done about the presidential election because there's no language in the Constitution by which we could make this happen. Now, it doesn't mean that the collective will of the people couldn't get something to happen, couldn't force a constitutional convention. There's all sorts of those types of solutions, but nothing easily and specifically on point. So bear with me on the point I'm making here. There is language in regards to an inappropriately appointed senator. There is language there. And that makes for a really interesting question about the audits. Because whatever the audits end up showing about the presidential election, that's one thing. But if they show that a senator was inappropriately seated, that's a different process. Now we suddenly have a problem, and the Democrats would have a big, big problem if this were true. Because they'll lose the majority in the Senate. They currently enjoy, they call it a majority. There's actually 48 Democrats. They don't have a majority. And there are 2 independents that caucus with Democrats. There are 50 Republicans. Republicans technically have a plurality. Democrats get quote-unquote majority status because of the Democrat vice president. But I still think that the Senate majority leader should actually be Republican at this point. Or they should have a Senate plurality leader or a co-majority or whatever, a non-majority. They should have something else. Because the Democrats do not have, they don't even have 50 senators. They certainly don't have 51. So that's an interesting question there. If the Democrats lose the Senate, what happens? What happens if we have we find out that we have laws passed by illegitimately elected senators, what do we do? Do we roll them back? Are they invalid? Do the Republicans then have to go in and repeal them? Like, how do we handle this? The implications of what is possibility. What is a possibility in this sort of context are massive. So that's the question. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Here's let me black pill you. We'll probably never find out. Right? We'll probably never find out. It'll get swept under. It'll be called a grand conspiracy theory full of the biggest lie ever. It'll be pushed aside, swept into the dustbin of history, and we'll all pray to God that no one ever thinks about it ever again. There's the black pill for you. And everybody will go, oh, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late now. And I'll be saying, but it was already, you said it was already too late when we were right before it was too late to even look. But now you're saying it's double secret too late, I guess. So, all right. All right. Someone mentioned that Mike Lindell said his lawyers found an 18th century law and that the Supreme Court will have to hear the evidence. Yeah, well, the Supreme Court had to hear the dispute between Texas and whatever other state it was too. That's only according to Article 3 of the United States Constitution, that it is original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to hear a case of controversy between two states. But you know, they had to hear that too, but they didn't. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But, maybe South Africa will have some instructional value for us. What do we have? I've got so much to talk about. Let's start with this one. This is something you're not expecting, I'm guessing. All right. I'm guessing no one is expecting this story. It's not in my headline. It's not in the description. In fact, at the time I wrote got the stream set up, I didn't even know it existed. Oh, so I did a daytime stream today, which was a lot of fun. Many of you were there. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know. I might do more daytime streams. Again, I might start doing them on Twitch. I'm not sure exactly how I want to handle that stuff, but sorry, I'm getting things set up here. Not sure exactly how I want to handle that stuff, but there may be more daytime live content coming in the near future somewhere. And one more little announcement, I guess, as we get started here. I believe tomorrow Robert Barnes will be on this show at this time. We will have Robert Barnes, and we will be discussing the Kyle Rittenhouse case. So we're going to be going through Kyle Rittenhouse's case. Bring your questions about Kyle Rittenhouse, and that is going to be a fun show, I think. Robert has a lot to say about Kyle and his case, and I think Kyle is 100% innocent. So that being said, Robert Barnes is going to come on, hopefully answer some questions. I'm going to ask him specifically about the carrying while under 18. charge that he's got. We'll talk about maybe some of the drama with the other lawyers that are involved in the case there, or were involved in the case, and what is going on with that. So that I'm very much looking forward to. Also, I heard that Robert Barnes and Viva Fry did the ballsy move of having Alex Jones on the channel today for an interview. So if you want to check that out later, you may want to go bookmark that and see how their sidebar with Alex Jones went. I'm going to hopefully have some time to watch it before my stream with Robert tomorrow, so I can nail that down. I believe tomorrow is the Robert Barnes stream. I'm going to verify with him. We said Thursday, but that is technically ambiguous. It could be tomorrow, Thursday, or next week, Thursday. So I'll verify with him, and you'll know by stream time. So there you go. So there's that. Oh, yes. We've got Zypher Warrior brought up something interesting. He said, I heard you have spent every day of your life e-begging. It's a devastating allegation. It was brought on Twitter by someone anonymous, relatively. I guess I have to address this. This is very, very important. Gosh, I mean, look, the reality is it's true. I've been caught red-handed in 4K and all the stuff that has ever existed. It's in response. This is from Joe Winner, at Capitalism Flop. So you can tell how that's going. He says, Donald Trump is officially the most disgraced president in U.S. history. That's who Joe Winner is. He's responding. Well, you know what's going on here, right? This is a Mars Girl simp, which is very, very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. But yes, I was making fun of her having to e-beg for a couch. And saying she can't afford all of the plane tickets it would take to get her to Texas. So, yeah. Now I lied right here. Look, I've got to be humble and honest here and upfront. I lied to you guys. I said never asked anyone to give me a penny. Never set a funding goal for my audience to meet. Never asked anyone who watches my show to pay for something for me. I'm pretty bad at begging. This was a lie, and I've been called out on it. I hope no one would notice or remember, but let's get down to it. Oh, that's fancy. Where is it? Here it is. Crow of approval. Says, you did put a funding goal on that Vest DSP stream. Ricada Media exposed. Caught in 4K. Caught in 4K. There it is. Attorney Tom, I'm going to DMCA your entire life. I hope you know that. So I'm fully exposed here. I'm exposed. But it's over. It's over. Ricada is over party. So wanted to point that out. I've been had and outed today, and I don't know what to do. What I saw a justice chat there from Chris Nemo says, you're getting my money whether you beg for it or not. How dare you? Don't you dare send me money. Don't do it. I should fix this. That just doesn't even look good at all. There we go. Okay, back to this story. Okay, so Zevius says, update on the story I broke in May 2020. The 3 goofball cops who took down and bloodied the nose of a teenage girl in a stormtrooper costume for May the 4th were cleared of all wrongdoing today. If you don't remember this story, this is a girl in a stormtrooper cosplay right here with that had a little, a fake blaster. Had a fake blaster on the thing, and the cops forced them to the ground because of the blaster, because this is Canada. So here we go. Here's the video.
Stop being the ghost.
This guy stops. He sees what's going on. He's like, wait, I gotta stop and figure this out. Cops are drawing guns. This is outside of like a nerd hobby store.
Stop.
Get down on the ground.
It's a plastic gun.
There it is. Getting handcuffed. Face down. Face down. Hear her crying?
Shit, that's a girl, man. Fuck. He's got the fucking shotguns.
Camera work leaves a little something to be desired.
Why?
Stay back. Why?
Seriously.
This is Canada. We don't have guns in Canada.
Go record us, but don't come approaching us. Stay back there like everybody else.
Yeah, but this is
please.
Canada.
These guys are so Canadian. Gonna record us, so go ahead and record us, hey? But we're in Canada, huh? Back off. Why don't you back off, you hoser? Record us from back there.
That's not a gun. It's a plastic gun. I could buy that at the dollar store.
You're gonna get arrested if you interfere here. Stay back.
You're gonna get arrested if you interfere here. Go on and stay back. This guy just like, what?
Oh my god. Are you serious? A plastic gun? Oh, what a fucking dick.
He pulls up the truck so he can't record it anymore. He can't record it anymore because of the truck. Let's check out the news story here. It's okay, though. Don't worry. The police officers investigated themselves and found out they did nothing wrong. Lethbridge officers cleared of wrongdoing in takedown of stormtrooper. An investigation has cleared Lethbridge officers of wrongdoing in the takedown of a teen dressed as a Star Wars stormtrooper last year. Police were called to the Cocoa Vanilla Galactic Cantina, a Star Wars-themed restaurant in Lethbridge on May 4th. The owner of the restaurant had asked a 19-year-old female staff member to dress up in the stormtrooper costume, which included a toy gun, and march around outside to attract customers. The date of the incident is known as Star Wars Day, a play on the words of the saying from the popular movie franchise, May the Force be with you. Oh, she got a little bit of force there, some excessive force. The incident gained international attention after social media posts showed images of the officers with their guns drawn and the costume teen on her knees. I guess in Canada, Canadian cops want to put teenage girls on their knees. Very, very disturbing. Is in front of a Star Wars restaurant. In a news release, the Lethbridge Police Service says it's done reviewing an investigation into the actions of the 3 officers conducted by the neighboring Medicine Hat Police Service. That 250-page report was completed in December of 2020 and found no grounds for criminal charges, but the Lethbridge Police Service conducted its own internal professional misconduct investigation following its submission. 250 pages. I need one page say this fucked up. This fucked up, right? Like this is what that I don't even need a page. Just a paragraph. Lethbridge Police Chief Shahin Medizadeh. I don't know if I had enough in there. Said just as there were no grounds for criminal charges, there's no evidence of professional misconduct. He noted that there were two separate 911 calls from citizens about the gun, and the teen was alone in the parking lot when they arrived. So? Who cares? Oh, someone called about a gun. It's a plastic gun. Remember Airheads? It's a plastic gun. A plastic gun? He said the officer's actions were consistent with use of force policies and the protocol for calls involving potential firearms. It was never a potential firearm. It's not a potential firearm. There's no potential for that to be a firearm ever. It's literally a toy, a plastic toy consistent with the outfit. There was no potential. Two of the three officers drew their weapons, but at no time did they point them at the teen. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. Motherfucking teenager. Got the weapons drawn. Like, this is an interesting idea about the Second Amendment that we don't really give the Second Amendment enough credit for. The Second Amendment means that when you're walking around with a toy gun somewhere, you're probably not, just by the psychology of the people who have the Second Amendment, you're probably not getting the cops called on you. I mean, it would have to be a pretty convincing fake gun to get the cops called on you. I mean, it has happened, of course. But usually it looks like a real gun rather than a pretend gun. No, Airheads is not on Prime. God, I wish it was. He also noted that the costume teen was released within 5 minutes of officers arriving at the scene. That's 5 minutes too long. Again, when you show up and someone is in a stormtrooper costume with a stormtrooper gun, you don't need to do any more investigation. You don't need to do any more investigation. First of all, even if it's a real gun, they're in a stormtrooper costume. They certainly aren't going to hit anybody. There's no concern here. The public is safe. The public is safe. Nobody's going to die. In a news release, Medizadeh said the incident was stressful for both the young woman in the suit and the officers who thought they were responding to a potentially lethal weapon. No, they did. If they did, fire all of them. Like, come on now. It's not like the stormtroopers carrying an AR. Do we have? Can I get stormtrooper gun? Take a look at what this looks like. Here you go. Oh my God. Can we? I don't need the box with the. Whatever. You can see it. There. That's it. That's the stormtrooper gun. That's what she had on the ground, except the difference being this one actually looks nice. The one she had was a plastic replica. Okay, back to this. Random Blaze says, sounds like another of the we investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong police stories. Of course they did. Of course they did. And they show up. She's not pointing the gun at anybody. Alone in the parking lot. She drops the gun immediately. That's the end of the encounter, by the way. That's the end of the encounter. They don't need to subsequently go and cuff her and put her down prone on her face. First of all, it's a stormtrooper costume. Have any of you... I know somebody out there for some reason likes the Star Wars movies. You notice how the stormtroopers can't move in the Star... Like, they move really stilted and jittered because it's a bunch of fucking plastic parts that get in the way of natural human movement. Kneeling down in one of those is hard. It's hard. So that alone, then getting down into prone position makes it even worse, right? We're talking about George Floyd had just occurred. Prone position was under some scrutiny. Now, granted, this is Canada, but I'm pretty sure Canada heard about the Floyd thing. Pretty sure the smoke from Minneapolis wafted up there. But my point in all this is it's not a simple task to do this. When they drop the plastic fake gun on the ground, you hear because that's the sound it makes, because it isn't metal. It's not a loaded firearm. It weighs a pound instead of like 7 pounds. It just goes. When they do that, then you say, hey, we got some complaints about someone holding a gun. They're like, nah, it's plastic. I'm a stormtrooper. There's a restaurant right there. Right there. You see the one where it's the Star Wars Cantina, and it's also May the 4th, and it's right there, that one. That's when this should end. Oh, okay. We got it. Sorry, eh? And you drive on or you ride your horse off or whatever, because this is obviously not a problem. Obviously not a problem. This is the type of stuff that people are talking about where we've got these encounters with police that are going ridiculous. Now, I mean, she didn't get shot or anything like that, but this is a waste of everybody's time, including the officers. The officers were lawfully placed in response to a 911 call, and they handled the threat to which they were dispatched in a measured and prudent way, especially considering that they had a credible basis for very real concerns that the person was holding a firearm in a very public area. That is just how you spell shit country. Right there. Right there. Well, someone was holding a firearm in a public area. Oh my God. Try going to Texas or New Hampshire. What are you going to do? They also had no real concern that that was a firearm. Again, there's no basis for that. It doesn't look like a normal, common firearm. They assessed the threat as best they could while trying to immediately prevent any potential shooting at them or others. I want to remind people that when the guy drives by and the girl is still standing, the gun is on the ground. That threat was addressed. It was over. They took it seriously. They followed LPS policy and training. They brought resolution expeditiously with no more force than was absolutely necessary. Yeah, you're right. They needed a bunch of force. They needed to bring her down to the ground. They needed to employ handcuffs. They needed to put her down on her face in the mask. They needed to do all those things. It was absolutely necessary. Medizida's disposition of the Medicine Hat Police Services investigation will be forwarded to the Provincial Director of Law Enforcement. So there you go. You got it. You got it. Look at how defeated this is. It's like they just watched the Death Star blow up in orbit. Now they realize they're stranded on this stupid planet and completely annihilated. Oh, God. How sad. Anyway, I wanted to bring that story back. I saw it today and I was like, oh, okay, we talked about this so long ago. We got to talk about it again. We got to give the finality that's going on. This is just from 6 hours ago. By the way, this was in May of 2020. It took, 14 months? It took them 14 months to review this event and find out that they did nothing wrong. 14 months. Even if you're going to come to this conclusion, how long does this review take? 20 minutes? Like you look at the video a couple times, you're like, I don't know about that. Why do you need 14 months for this? No, the 250 pages was the other department's investigation. It was the other department's investigation, which finished in December of 2020. That was a 250-page report. This was a subsequent investigation that followed. Go to bed. These damn kids. Mr. Bentham says, grift me, Law Daddy. Ooh, I'm 10 minutes behind. Just got here. Oh, get grifted. Get yourself grifted hard. The denialist says, if I duct taped 2 sticks together and walked around, would Canada still think I had a gun? No, what Canada calls that is a nuclear weapon. Brex says, I've never seen such a long report not end up in charges. That was hundreds of man hours and thousands of dollars. Oh, yeah. This is a complete waste. Complete waste. All right, are you guys ready? Now, I'm going to give my contravailing statement right now. I am not making any claims about COVID, the COVID vaccine, the efficacy of lockdowns, vaccination requirements, the safety of anything. I am not a doctor. I'm just a funny lawyer. Sometimes, other times I'm not funny. But I'm just a lawyer on YouTube talking about news stories. I am not making these statements. I am not telling you what to do with the vaccine or not to do. Instead, I'm going to leave that up to Jen Psaki. Here we go. Let's see what Jen Psaki says you should do.
Hence, we are quite focused on communicating directly with those people, hence our special guest today, about why it's important to get vaccinated, why these vaccines are safe, why they can still kill you, even if you are under the age of 27. We need to be clear and direct about our messaging. Hence, we are...
Whoa. What? Wait, what did you say? Let's hear that again, please.
Quite focused on communicating directly with those people, hence our special guest today, about why it's important to get vaccinated, why these vaccines are safe, why they can still kill you, even if you are under the age of 27. Why they can still kill you, even if you are under the age of 27.
Wait. How does this even happen? Like, I mean, first of all, it's the first press secretary in history to issue a modicum of truth, but how does that sentence come out of her mouth? I in person, not really on YouTube, because you can't talk about it here. But in person-to-person conversations, I've talked about this subject millions of times. And you know what sentences never come out of my mouth? Because they can still kill you even if you're under 27. Wait! Think of the implications that means. First of all, it means everybody knows they can kill you if you're over 27. But what people don't know is that they can still kill you if you're under 27. Oh my gosh. What is that? What, again, how did they even get to this? I'm just dying.
Why these vaccines are safe, why they can still kill you even if you are under the age of 27.
Who are they? Who is they? Maybe they isn't the vaccines. I don't know. It's not my statement. YouTube, hands up, don't shoot. I'm not spreading any. This is the most official source I can possibly think of. There's no misinformation here. I'm not even saying she's right or wrong, YouTube. I'm way more hands up, don't shoot than Michael Brown ever was at this point, okay? That's not me saying it. I don't think she's right. I don't think that's true. I think if you're under 27, it can't kill you. That's my belief I'm not doing, it's not me. It's not me. So I am saying what I always say on this subject. Your healthcare decisions are between you, your physician, and the learned experts. Never get your health advice from a YouTube lawyer on my channel. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. I really wanted to bring you this 5 seconds of glory.
Get vaccinated. Why these vaccines are safe. Why they can still kill you even if you are under the age of 27. We need.
It's never gonna get old for me. It's never gonna get old for me. Woo! Tom Bombathrill says, think there's any chance a SCOTUS will rule that concealed carry is a right like Heller, or is that way too optimistic? That's a change of gears. That's a change of gears and a change of pace. But let's talk about what I think is a realistic possibility. No, I do not think that the Supreme Court itself will rule that concealed carry is a right like Heller. I think what the Supreme Court will do is suggest that states either have constitutional open carry, or states can have reasonable restrictions amounting to a concealed carry, but it has to be a meaningful concealed carry program that has meaningful allowances for people to actually get them, and maybe say that a shall issue approach to concealed carry permits is a constitutional right. Shall issue versus may issue states. A shall issue state basically says there's a list of check boxes on your application for a concealed carry permit. If you check all the boxes, there is no discretion. You are qualified for a concealed carry permit and you get to have it. There's no sheriff who can tell you no or whatever. Now, there's a set of check boxes. The check boxes can say, are you a felon? Are you currently facing felony charges or misdemeanor charges or violent criminal charges? They can make a lot of check boxes. But if you pass the checkbox test, then you are fine and you get to have it. I think that is a possibility coming from the Supreme Court. I do not think a Supreme Court will recognize that concealed carry is a constitutional right. I think they'll say, look, you can have concealed carry, but the restrictions on it have to be reasonable, or you can have open carry. One of those two things. That's what I think is a possibility if it goes our way. But I don't know. Maybe I'm too optimistic. We'll have to see. The Supreme Court has been very, very weak on Second Amendment for a long time. If Thomas gets his way, they'll use any Supreme Court case on the Second Amendment to actually clearly define the tests that are involved. And then we're in for a whole lot of litigation on it. A lot of you people are bringing up the right to bear arms. Yes, bearing arms does not necessarily mean bearing arms openly. And it does not necessarily mean that again, if they can now for me, by the way, my personal opinion here, we gotta make these clear. My personal opinion is that there should be no restriction at all. You have a right to keep and bear arms. That's the Second Amendment. You should be able to walk around with a gun in your hand all you want. You start pointing it at people, that can be an assault. Absolutely. But if you're walking around, gun holstered, gun, carried neutral, whatever it is, I mean, I don't know. I think that's in the Constitution. I think that's fine. That being said, that's not how it's interpreted, read, or implemented over the past 80 years. And since it's not, we have to deal with the present reality and what I think the Supreme Court might do. I do think solidifying a shall issue concealed carry as a constitutional right, as that is the minimum threshold. They can say, sure, you can have a de minimis administrative fine, or not fine, fee for the administrative paperwork involved in the concealed carry permit process, but you must issue it to people who qualify. I think that's a realistic outcome. I don't think they're going to say all states have to have open carry. I don't think they're going to. I think it should be that way. I don't think the Supreme Court's going to nut up and do it. And CC permits should also be honored in every state like driver's licenses, Thomas O'Hanlon says. I agree. And the fact that they're not seems to be a violation of the full faith and credit clause, but that's a fight for another day. Okay. What's next? What do we have next? These are the goofy ones that we've got. I just had some goofy stories. What is this? What is this? Getting all kinds of notifications here. Do we want the dead guy story or the touched? Let's do the touched story. Touched, not by an angel this time. So do you guys remember a guy named Larry Nassar? Larry Nassar was a physician working with the U.S. gymnastics team. The United States gymnastics team would have injuries on these young, fit girls between the ages of 14 and 19, maybe 20. I guess Dominique Dawes was a little over 20. And they would send these girls to get examined and then treatment from the team doctor, Larry Nassar. And Larry Nassar would sometimes do what we call pelvic adjustments. Pelvic adjustments, chiropractors do pelvic adjustments, but Larry Nassar decided and convinced parents even that the appropriate thing to do was pelvic adjustments from inside the child's pelvis. Because they're limber or something. That's what you got to do, apparently. That's according to Larry Nassar. Now, so basically what they found out was once these girls started talking that it sure seems like Larry Nassar was placing fingers and stuff into these girls. And that's not really what they were there for, right? He's not an OB. The parents aren't consenting. Well, actually, in some cases, the parents were consenting, but they're listening to a physician explain what is a reasonable procedure. The physician just happened to be lying about it, right? But they're not going to an OB. They're not getting an ultrasound to figure out if they have a cyst on an ovary or something like that. It's gross. And I'm briefly describing some of what he did. There's more that he did as well. Breck mentioned something there in the chat that I think I've read something about that too. But we now have some new stuff coming out. The Office of the Inspector General of the United States has reviewed. So we know Larry Nassar's a scumbag, but they have reviewed the FBI's actions in response to complaints. Believe it or not, people are kind of wondering, like, well, why weren't these kids and these parents complaining about this? Turns out they did. But let's go. Let's just start reading the results of the Office of the Inspector General's investigation. The OIG found that despite the extraordinarily serious nature of the allegations and the possibility that Nassar's conduct could be continuing, senior officials in the FBI Indianapolis field office failed to respond to the Nassar allegations with the utmost seriousness and urgency that they deserved and required, made numerous and fundamental errors when they did respond to them, and violated multiple FBI policies. The Indianapolis field office did not undertake any investigative activity until September 2nd, 5 weeks after the meeting with USA Gymnastics, when they telephonically interviewed one of the three athletes. Further, FBI Indianapolis never interviewed the other two gymnasts, who they were told were available to meet with FBI investigators. The absence of any serious investigative activity was compounded when the Indianapolis field office did not transfer the matter to the FBI office, the Lansing resident agency, where venue most likely would have existed had evidence been developed to support the potential federal crimes being considered, even though the Indianapolis office had been advised to do so by the USAO and had told USA Gymnastics that the transfer had occurred. So they were told to do it. They didn't transfer it. They even said they did, but they didn't. Additionally, the Indianapolis office did not notify state or local authorities of the sexual assault allegations, even though it questioned whether there was federal jurisdiction to pursue them. As a result, the Lansing resident agency did not learn of the Nassar allegations until over a year after they were first reported to the FBI, and then learned of them only from the MSUPD. Moreover, the FBI conducted no investigative activity in the matter for more than 8 months following the September 2015 interview. During that period of time, as alleged and detailed in numerous civil complaints, Nassar's sexual assaults continued. Further, when the FBI's handling of the Nassar matter came under scrutiny from the public, Congress, the media, and FBI headquarters in 2017-2018, Indianapolis officials did not take responsibility for their failures. Instead, they provided incomplete and inaccurate information in response to FBI internal inquiries, and Abbott, after he retired, provided inaccurate information to the media to make it appear that the Indianapolis office had been diligent in its follow-up efforts, and they did so in part by blaming others for their own failures. The OIG identified multiple failures and policy violations by the Indianapolis field office in connection with its handling of the Nassar allegations. Among other things, the OIG found that the Indianapolis field office did not properly document the July 2015 meeting with USA Gymnastics. The Indianapolis SSA failed to properly handle and document receipt and review of the thumb drive provided by USA Gymnastics during the July 2015 meeting. The Indianapolis SSA did not document the September 2015 victim interview, alleging criminal sexual assault by Nassar in an FD 302 report until 17 months after the interview occurred. There you go. Good job, I guess. I guess that is a thing. Just 17 months, though. Let's see. The FD 302 of the September 2015 victim interview that was drafted by the Indianapolis SSA in February 2017 included materially false information and omitted material information, and the FBI Indianapolis field office did not coordinate with state or local authorities, although it believed that the allegations it received likely did not fall within federal jurisdiction. In addition, although the Indianapolis SSA told the OIG that he completed and forwarded an FD-71 complaint from the FBI's electronic case management system to the FBI's Lansing resident agency. We determined that an FD-71 form never reached the Lansing resident agency and the Indianapolis SSA. The FBI inspection division and other FBI employees stated they could not find an FD-71 in the FBI's case management system or elsewhere. So he lied about that too. Yeah, I totally did the form. I did it. Except you didn't. The OIG also found that while the FBI Los Angeles field office appreciated the utmost seriousness of the Nassar allegations and took numerous investigative steps upon learning of them in May 2016, the office did not expeditiously notify local law enforcement or the FBI Lansing resident agency of the information that it had learned or take other action to mitigate the ongoing danger that Nassar posed. So they, again, we don't think we can bring Fed charges on this guy. Then talk to state and local law enforcement. But they didn't. Now we're at 2 different field offices that didn't do it. Indeed, precisely because of its investigative activity, the LA field office was aware from interviewing multiple witnesses that Nassar's abuse was potentially widespread and that there was specific allegations of sexual assault against him for his actions while at the Karolyi training camp, also known as the Karolyi Ranch in Huntsville, Texas. Yet the LA field office did not contact the sheriff's office in Walker County, Texas to provide it with the information that it had developed until after the MSUPD had taken action against Nassar in September of 2016. Nor did it have any contact with the FBI Lansing resident agency till after the resident agency first learned about the Nassar allegations from the MSUPD and public news reporting. Given the continuing threat posed by Nassar, the uncertainty over whether LA field office had venue over the allegations, and the doubt that there was even federal jurisdiction to charge the sexual tourism crime that the LA field office was seeking to pursue, we found that prudence and sound judgment dictated that the LA field office should have notified local authorities upon developing the serious evidence of sexual assault against Nassar that its investigative actions were uncovering. I'm not going to read all of this, but if I remember right, I don't think it's in here. But this led to, I believe, they've concluded an additional 70 sexual assault allegations against Larry Nassar. Just the 70, though. Just 70 more. This is a man who had access to these girls every day. Every day he had access to them. And, you know, they were the U.S. team. He's the Olympic coach. Lots of power there. Will the FBI be punished in any meaningful way? No. No. 4 recommendations to improve it. What are the recommendations? Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, that's good. So this is good. I didn't even get down to this. Check this out. Abbott, who's one of the officers involved here, he attempted to obtain employment with U.S. Olympic Committee while Nassar investigation was ongoing. So, yeah, that seems like a conflict of interest. I don't know about you guys, but to me that seems pretty bad. Let's see if we can find the conclusions and recommendations. Like, this guy sounds like he deserves prison. All right, so Okay, we identified shortcomings in FBI policy that should be further assessed to ensure the FBI can more effectively handle these types of matters. Here's how we recommend it. Reassess its policies, clarify its policies, develop a policy describing the circumstances under which telephonic interviews of alleged child abuse victims, including adults who had allegedly been victims of abuse as children, are appropriate. Train FBI employees on the policies discussed in the first 3 recommendations and any changes made to them. There you go. That's what they're going to do. Work on those policies. There you go. Nothing. It's nothing. Of course they're not going to do anything. Why would they do anything? They're gonna get new policies. Now notice, over and over again, what were they saying there? They violated policies. They omitted and ignored policies. They didn't do the policy. No policy. No policy. No policy. What's the solution? Make better policies. Nope. No, that's not an answer. That's just that you're missing the problem. It's not that you don't have a policy. It's that they didn't follow the policy. So there's a Tucker Carlson clip. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if I can show it. I was talking about it earlier with the Fulton County stuff. I don't know if I can even show that clip on YouTube. Did I cover the swatting yet? Nope. Starting right now. It's the next thing on the list. I had to pour myself a tall glass of liquor. Okay. Here is the swatting case. Tennessee grandfather targeted for his Twitter handle dies during swatting incident. Tennessee grandfather who was targeted for his Twitter handle @Tennessee died after police surrounded his home due to a swatting call. It's an interesting way to phrase that, right? Swatting is when someone calls police in an attempt to bring about the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to a particular address. Let's watch the video report. Let's see what it says here.
New tonight, it's called swatting. It is a growing problem across the country.
New tonight, it's called swatting, and it's a growing problem across the country. Guy, I hate how newscasters sound.
The term refers to a hoax 911 call with the goal of diverting emergency resources to an unsuspecting person's home. On News 2 at 4, we told you about a victim who found himself in the middle of a swatting call after he refused to give up his Twitter handle. He was part of a nationwide crime spree targeting people with rare usernames worth thousands of dollars. News 2's Alex Dennis explains how minors are suspected of orchestrating the entire scheme that ended with a local man dead. With a story you'll see only here on News 2.
Well, not only, you're going to see it here also. Wait a minute. Okay, so they're talking about how he was part of a crime scheme. Are they saying that he was the criminal because he had... I don't think so. I think they were saying that the crime scheme was the other people doing the swatting. I think that is the crime scheme. They were targeting people with fame, with high value names. I don't think he's saying that he was criminally squatting on the @Tennessee handle. So just want to clarify that. Not a very good news broadcast because that was kind of ambiguous in the way it was worded.
His neighbor called and said, there's police everywhere, and they think a man has killed a woman and he's on your property. You know, you need to take cover.
It was shocking news for 60-year-old Mark Herring, who lived here off of a sleepy country road in Bethpage.
He went out the house.
God, I hate all newscaster voices. All the women newscasters sound the same too. It was shocking news for a man called Harry as he found himself in the crossfire of a swatting incident. Stop it.
With a gun because he heard someone was on his property and he sees all these cops around him. And they ask if he is Mark Herring, put your hands up. So he tosses the gun away from him to show he's not a threat. Hands up.
A full response from authorities faced the innocent grandfather who died minutes later.
So he's got, okay, now I'm intrigued. It's all very passive language. Who died? How did he die? Did he die from a heart attack? What the hell happened? He throws his gun, so he's not shooting at anybody. He's not coming out like, you motherfucking feds can't get me. None of that's happening. So what happens?
That he was scared to death, and that is what caused his heart attack.
His family
There it
rushed
is.
to Sumner Regional Medical
Heart
Center,
attack.
where they learned more about Herring's final moments.
They just kept talking about this 911 call that was placed.
It had been like a prank phone call or a swatting phone call.
Months later, they learned about Shane Sonderman, a minor back in April 2020 when the crime was committed.
He was from Tennessee.
So he dies from a heart attack. He dies from a heart attack. What do you do? What do you do on this? This is a tough one. Are the police to blame? I mean, they're responding to the alleged threat of someone, trying to kill people on a property. Swatting calls, they get pretty detailed. How do we address it? I don't know. Let's see what else they got to say. A little bit more of this report left.
He's the one that collected all of our information. My address, my sister's, my mom's, my other sister. Like, he put it on a channel on Discord, which is a gaming.
Discord. Oh, let's get that up there. Discord murdered a man. Thank God. A bunch of gay furries murdered a man while administering Discord.
Chat form.
The private information released for use in an intimidation tactic meant to convince Herring to hand over his one-of-a-kind Twitter handle at Tennessee. Herring refused. Another minor was in on the scheme.
A kid in the United Kingdom made the call to my dad's local police department.
He will not be extradited from the United Kingdom because he is still currently a minor.
Right.
Sonderman.
Don't extradite him. Send a bullet his way. Like, I'm so fucking tired of the swatting bullshit. Swatting people should be a death sentence to the swatter. That's it. That's it. I'm tired of this. Like, what are we fucking doing here? Like, they're getting people killed. Literally getting people killed. It's not a joke. It's not a prank. Just a prank, bro. None of that's real. This is shit. They're employing the government's force to do something based on a lie. Kill them. Done with it. Execution. Get out. Had to have broken some UK laws. Broke American laws too.
And is currently behind bars awaiting trial. A federal grand jury indictment claims he had 6 victims across the country. Herring was the only one.
Holy shit. Let's find it. We can find this guy's docs. Not actual docs, YouTube. I'm joking. We're going to find his court documents. Shane Sonderman. Find party. Sonderman. You're no longer a minor, Shaney boy. Search. Just one. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Docket report. Run the report. Complaint. We have a indictment as to Shane Sonderman. Let's check out the complaint first. Page cost me 10 cents. He's charged with wire fraud and conspiracy, interstate communication of threats, false information and hoaxes, and conspiracy. Okay. Thank you for that 10 cents. First superseding indictment. This has been going on for a while. Wait, was he fucking sentenced? What is this? Plea agreement. All right, so we got a plea agreement on this one. Let's see what massive criminal penalty he faces. Mind you, this ends up being technically a felony murder. Just so you know. Comes now the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, by and through duly authorized assistant, takes the following position regarding the sentencing in the instant case. In accordance with the plea agreement entered into between the defendant and the United States, the government will recommend a sentence at the low end of the advisory guideline range, which the government anticipates will be approximately 60 months, 5 years. Pre-sentence report does not recommend a reduction in offense level pursuant to U.S. sentencing guidelines for acceptance of responsibility. Government concurs. Time defendant entered his plea of guilty, the U.S. was prepared to recommend that the defendant receive a 2-point reduction in his offense level for acceptance of responsibility, and at sentencing, move for a third 1-point deduction in his offense level. However, that position was subject to the defendant's continued good behavior and demonstration that he was ready to admit his wrongdoing and accept the consequences of his actions. Unfortunately, the defendant decided to post plea to once again conspire with others to harass people in online. This motherfucker still has internet access? In order to obtain control of their social media handles. Behavior that not only contradicts acceptance of responsibility, but also violated the condition of the defendant's bond. Sensing the government will present witness testimony in support of its position. This motherfucker does it again while in custody, or while in release, while out on bond, I should say, while under conditions. He does it again, violating his release conditions. And they're going to recommend 60 months, the low end, for the plea deal. Was he on bond when we killed the old guy? Don't know. Let's see. We got another justice chat came in here. Whoa. Felipe Move. Holy shit. I gotta expand this out to read it. It says, hey Nick, saw you earlier today. Weird you wear your wife shirts during the day. The shirt I was wearing earlier was the Disco Suck shirt from the Rob Zombie movies, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and then 3 from Hell. It's the one that Otis was wearing. A thought, fucking kids shouldn't have access to the internet in any capacity. Go to the library and use a typewriter like we, the Gen Xers, the last good generation, did. I mean, this is egregious, man. They killed this guy. Trying to criminally extort him, they died. Why isn't this a felony murder? Why isn't that a felony murder? That's a massive, like, it's a fucking murder. Swatting is murder to me. If someone, it's attempted murder or it is murder. Murder using the state as the weapon. This is why we have drones. Legitimately good question, though. We do have drones, right? You know, when you get a swatting call, why not have a little remote drone pilot go and kind of check out what's going on before you just send 50,000 police officers, into the mix? So that's the recommended sentence. I don't know when his actual sentencing is supposed to take place. There's a pre-sentence report, but it's sealed, so I can't pull it up. Don't know when his sentencing hearing is off the top of my head, and I'm not super interested in reading through all of these little minute orders to find it. But it looks like it's coming up soon. Just insane, though. We've got this. Now, you've got a dead guy. A dead guy all because he happened to get a cool name. He got the @ handle of a state before the state thought to do it. And Martin says, wait, 60 months recommendation before or after he was found to have done it again? After. That's the recommendation after. Scott Cardinal says, what on earth is swatting? Okay, let me explain it to you. Scott Cardinal, let's say you and I are in a spat on Twitter. Okay? You and I are arguing back and forth on Twitter. We're arguing over Futa. And you say that Futa should not have balls, and I say Futa should have balls. So we're fighting back and forth over the ball status of Futa. It's very important. People get very heated over this. And I decide that you're so wrong. That I trawl through your social media and I get somehow your phone number, your address, whatever it is. Maybe I go to your Facebook and I triangulate your coordinates in conjunction with 4chan, whatever it is. Somehow I find your address, all right? So I've got your address. Now what I do is I pick up a phone, I call the cops in your area, the police department in your area, and I say, hey, at this address, there's a guy, he's got a hostage, he's already shot someone in the head, it's his family, you know, he's got him, he's gone crazy, he's killed his wife, and he's got his kids duct taped up with a gun to their head, and he's screaming rabid, incoherent things. So then they send a hostage rescue team or whatever, a SWAT team to the house. They send a SWAT team to the house, and it's supposed to scare people, right? You know, like they bust open the door, they come in there, freeze, motherfucker, right? And normally some guy's just sitting there on his couch jerking off, actually to the balls, Futa, because you said no balls, but we know you meant balls. So they're doing that. They're just minding their own business, and suddenly their door gets busted in by a SWAT team. Now, the problem with this is, of course, sometimes, when someone busts down the door of a house, they'll pull out a gun and they'll shoot at who's busting down their door, because this is America. And then the cops will shoot back, and the person will die, and the cop will be justified-ish. You know, they think they're walking into a charnel house of murder. But this is what it's done. Usually, swatting has resulted in some terrified people, some pissed pants, some slightly damaged property, and some hard feelings. Lately, swattings are increasingly ending up with deaths. Either death by the cop shooting someone, or as we have in this case, the guy sees a bunch of cops. He's worked up, his adrenaline's flowing, but he's an older guy. He dies from it. So I hope that helps explain what swatting is. It's an awful, awful thing. You know, like I'm not a big fan of doxing. I don't dox people. I don't share their personal information. The only times I've ever done that were complete accidents, and I made a move to censor that out later. But I don't share people's personal information in any way. And by the way, the time that I've shared people's personal information, it was like on a document that was a legal document that was also public. So I tend to not do that, but sometimes it happens. I'm not a huge fan of it. That said, doxing in and of itself is not illegal. It's not an illegal thing to compile publicly available information and put it up on the internet. It's not. Some people think it should be. Some people think it shouldn't be. Doesn't matter. It's not illegal. So if I go to your tax records and I grab your address from the tax records because I know your name and where you live and put that up on the internet, it's already up on the internet. Your tax records are publicly accessible in a lot of states. So, again, I don't do that. I'm not the biggest fan of people doing that, but people do it. You can't stop them. It's not illegal. So you can whine about it or whatever. There's a distinct difference between doxing someone and swatting people. You don't need to be doxed to get swatted either, by the way. You don't need to. It doesn't have to come from the internet. You could swat your neighbor right now. That's not an internet thing. You just know their address. You can do that. People have done that. You know, they call the cops. One guy that we actually talked about this. We actually talked about this one time. A guy wanted to sleep, and he called to file a noise complaint. And the cop said, "Hey, we're not going to come out for a noise complaint." He lied and said, "Well, domestic abuse or whatever. Anything that gets you assholes out here to take care of this because I'm trying to get my Z's." And so then the cops, this is in Arizona, I believe, they came actually to the house, knocked on the door. It's late at night. Guy answers the door with a gun, moves to put the gun down. The cops shoot him in the back of the head. So that was just a neighbor. That wasn't an internet spat or anything like that. Swatting has just happened. People use law enforcement to get their way over other people. And it's a fucking crime. And it should be a murder. It should be a murder crime. Attempted murder for failures, murder for it happening. That's one I don't have any tolerance for. Dude answered the door with a gun, moron. He's in a low income area and the door gets knocked on at midnight. He had every right to answer his own door with a gun in his hand. $2 a.m. It was 2 a.m. He don't have a peephole. The cops were actually standing off to the sides of the door. As they should, right? Because what if bullets come out the door? The cops knock and they stand off to the sides. So he opened the door. One cop in front of him, one cop behind him. He immediately tries to put his weapon down. One hand up, other weapon going to the ground. Cop shoots him in the back of the head. That was a literal travesty. That was not like that guy didn't do anything wrong. Cops did several things wrong. He was executed. Yeah, that was a Crash Bandicoot guy. That was the loud noise. He and his wife were playing Crash Bandicoot or whatever. So, swatting victim in the chat. Oh yeah, I saw a guy was swatted over having too many guns, but he wasn't home. Yep, Dude McMahon brings up one. We talked about this case too. Two guys beefing on Twitch a few years ago and were taunting each other to meet up and fight. So one of them gave his address, which was actually some random guy. It was his former address. And then the other guy swatted the random guy, and the random guy got shot by police. Those cops get disciplined in any way? I don't think so. I doubt it. They almost never do. It's insane. Swatting is that's what I have no tolerance for. I think swatting is murder. Didn't get disciplined. I take it the guy was white. I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but yes, he was. I think 911 callers, especially ones for SWAT calls, should be required to give ID for investigation in case of false information. Yeah, I mean, in theory, they just lie. But 2 swatting victims in the chat. Yeah, I have no tolerance for it. No tolerance for it at all. Like, thank God it hasn't happened to me at this point. I'm sure at some point it will, though. I'm sure at some point it will. Don't forget Big Chungus swatting Worski. Ian Miles Chong, man. Called, right? That was him, I think. Called a wellness check-in on Andy Worski. Thank God they were Canadian cops and they hide their guns in their assholes or whatever. Daniel Shaver got swatted to in Arizona. Yeah, that was kind of a swatting call. Someone said he was pointing his gun outside. It was a pellet gun. Don't know if he was actually pointing it out. Derp the Bugbear. Yep. I've seen that thing about Phase K. Okay. I need to move on and stop reading random chats. Here, we've got a bunch of super chats that I could read. Let me start catching up on some super chats here, and then we'll go into the commies wanting your name on a list in a second. But since I'm reading a bunch of non-super chats, I should probably read the existing super chats. Karama Minamino says, Nick, did you forward the pro-life brief to a state rep? No, not yet. Not yet. Macca Jr. says, I've barely been like conscious of anything other than the convention and then now getting caught up on the show stuff. So Macca Jr. says, currently in lockdown and my work sold the business. So I need to argue for a new contract, even though I've been there for 12 years. Wish me luck. Good luck, brother. You're in Australia though. So you're automatically fake and a Fed. So I'm thinking you'll get what you need. SM Scorix says, Joe Winner's profile is Karl Marx from a Chinese anime. That isn't a joke. No, but Joe Winner is a joke. Because anyone who simps for Mars Girl is a joke. The Political Latino, hey, thank you for the donation. Red Mage 13 says, don't know if you've commented on the George Floyd mural wall being struck by lightning in Toledo already. I'm still laughing at how exact it hit it and just the irony of it all. Let's go ahead and look at this George Floyd lightning. Did you read the late super chat I DM'd you? I thought I read it on Twitch, but maybe not. Here we go. Look at this thing. This got annihilated. George Floyd mural in North Toledo reduced to rubble after being struck by lightning. Mayor and artists say it will be replaced. Let's take a peek.
Well, people are sounding off locally and around the nation to this damaged art mural.
People are sounding off locally and around the nation to this damaged art mural depicting a visage, a holy visage of George Floyd, the patron saint martyred last year by the Philistine Derek Chauvin.
We brought you that story last night. It honored George Floyd. Now, we know it was struck by lightning. Now what we want to know tonight is what's next for it. Carla Byron is live at Summit and LaGrange in North Toledo to try to help
Look
us
at
answer
how
that
fucking
tonight. And
wrecked
Carla,
the mural
you have
got
a chance, or you got a chance earlier today to talk to the artist. And did he tell you what's next?
David Ross says he plans on redoing the mural somewhere in the city, and once again it will center around George Floyd. He says he'll incorporate a double rainbow into the new mural because the city
a double rainbow. Ah! What does it mean? Why are you going to put a double rainbow in there? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. They're taking it too fucking far. I'm already done.
Same day of the lightning strike, he saw a double rainbow.
Same day of the lightning strike, I looked outside during the weather and I saw a double rainbow. So my next mural's gonna have a double rainbow in it. God can't even stop me.
Our first alert meteorologist was able to confirm a negatively charged lightning strike did hit at the corner of Summit and LaGrange.
Look at the devastation. It just went. God's like, nope. What? Wow.
Range 4:30 p.m. yesterday, debunking any questions or concerns this may have been an individual's doing. Ross also wants to put the new mural somewhere where he says everyone will appreciate it. And a spokesperson for the city tells me that building officials here have determined that there's no need for an emergency demolition here at the building at this time. Reporting live in
Not an emergency demolition, but look at that building. That thing is fucking dilapidated. It's toast. That building is gone. That artist probably had the lightning. He's praying. He's like, please strike my mural so I can get it in a better location. Please. Please do it. Let's see. Does this work? Can I do this without... Oh, damn it. Let me see how to do this in an easy way. Shit. No. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Trying to see why I can't Can I do this? Here we go. This is for you guys. All right. Sorry. This took forever because I wasn't set up to do this.
He hurled his thunderbolt.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He hurled his thunderbolt.
Woo. Okay. Let me see here. That fixed. There we go. What else do we have? Okay, back to this. Woo! Sorry, I had to share that little laugh with you. The building was said to be stable and secure prior to lightning strike. However, the facade was not. Nope. It certainly was not. CJ says maybe they thought it was a ghost gun, referring back to the Canadian cops. CJ says, check out Rucka Rucka Ali Star Wars parody. Those stormtroopers can get down in that plastic armor. Plus, I think you'd like the lyrics. Svenstead says she would be shot if she was Vader because of the fear of force choke. Grandfather Nurgle says time to annex Canada. Snarkmark and Kobayashi Brynhild. Welcome to paralegal status. I appreciate it. Mean Sarton says it's a wonder we haven't suffered more terrorist attacks due to these incompetent and corrupt people. CJ says, I know what you do. Label it a COVID death. Deathwing Gant says, hey, Nick, I've got an important case coming up with that stupid tech giant. How do you remain calm and collected? Any tips you can pass on? You've got that important case coming up with the stupid tech giant. How do you remain calm and collected? Well, you don't remain calm. You know, whenever you've got a case going on, you got nerves, especially at hearings, and you just channel that into positive energy. I can't link the Zeus video. It was sent to me embedded in a Twitter DM, so I can't do it. Redrick Lassier says, hello, Nick. I could use a laugh tonight. Could you please defend balls as Trump? All right. We can defend balls. Not that balls need defending. Have you seen people without... You've seen these guys. These men, purported men running around. There's no balls there. There's nothing there. There's nothing hanging in the golden archway. There's nothing hanging down. No wonder masculine pendulums hanging down, talking about masculinity, expressing manhood in their glory. None of that is happening there. It's all estrogen, nothing but estrogen. They shriveled up and retreated like the French. French have retreated many times. Many times. Read history. I'm pretty good at history. I know a lot of history. But you know what I know mostly about history? Men without balls, and even the Fudas without balls, they didn't make it. They didn't make it through history. No reproduction. You need those. You need those to reproduce. I learned biology a long time ago. You probably should study it. But the men with balls, they made it through. They made it through. They wrote history. History was written by men with balls. Men without balls, nothing. Nothing. Can't even write.
Well, people are sounding off locally and around the nation.
I hope that was helpful. Before the newscaster just refreshed there and came back in. That was weird. Auto refresh scripts on news sites are pretty embarrassing. Okay, here we go. Russell Hall says swatting is reckless endangerment or manslaughter. Ben Frail says having our 5th lockdown in 2 years tonight. Hooray. Sorry, brother. Try living in a country that's real. Definitely don't move to India. Unspoken Old One says, I haven't been able to come into a stream in a while. Come on now. But have you heard about the FaZe Clan situation? Yes. Yes, I have. Financial scams and all sorts of craziness. Look, I'm friendly-ish with Keemstar. Of course, he doesn't talk to me all the time. I'm a little guy. Right? So, Keem doesn't talk to me all the time. But and I know he's friends with FaZe or whatever, but I've long held that FaZe clan is a little bit suspect. In my opinion. Reading through that FaZe Banks lawsuit with the guy who the gamer, right? The gamer who got removed or whatever. I think their contract policies are a little bit off myself. So I'm not a huge fan. Financial scams and all sorts of craziness. I'm certainly interested to look into it. Face Lord says swatting is murder. Don't knock it till you tried it, bro. Pastor Flash says having the 5th lockdown tomorrow. Also, tomorrow's the day of my father's funeral. Everything is ruined. FML. What are you going to do about the funeral? Are you still going to have it? By the way, Pastor Flash, prayers for your father, brother. May his passing signify a passage from pain, a passage from loss, and a movement into some better place, into some better state. The removal of worldly concerns, worldly pain, and worldly desires, however that may manifest, can be a blessing, even though those left behind see it as a curse. May we always mourn through joyful memories, and may we always ignore the failures of the fallen. Peace, brother. Ralph Mack says COVID and experimental jabs is the biggest BS for NWO. Eldon Bainling, that was improv. Mean Sarton says St. Floyd of fentanyl. Longreach Jones says random news from Australia. Melbourne going back into lockdown. This is the news from Australia. 5th time, as there are now 12 plague cases in the whole state. That's it? That's it? Just 12? Oh my God. Vine the Cold One, a year ago today. Sorry, brother. Dads, maybe I'm biased. But dads make the world work. At the end of the day, moms are essential, of course. It's weird that I even have to say it. It's weird that I even have to acknowledge mom's value when literally everybody acknowledged the value of the mother. Like that's never been in question. However, the value of a father doesn't diminish the value of a mother in any way, and nor does the value of a mother diminish the value of a father. But fathers make the world's work. For one, traditionally and typically and statistically, they're the ones doing the work. They're the ones making it possible for the mothers to raise the children. That's the way we've kind of been designed. The whole idea of like women being the breadwinner, it's not a problem. It's not a problem, but it's aberrant in history because of the amount of time that pregnancies, delivery, and child rearing took out of the woman's schedule, right? Like that was just how it was. And you got to remember, like as we're evolving and growing as a people and as a society, women are not having one kid and hanging up their ovaries on the closet thing. They're having 9 to 15 kids. Like they're having a lot. You know why? Because a bunch of kids used to die all the fucking time. Kids are dying everywhere. And the labor that you got, the free labor that you got was your children. And so, the dads were out working a field, raising a herd, engaging in a trade, whatever it was. They were doing that to bring home enough supplies for the family. And the mother was running the household, rearing the children. That's how it was. That's changed a little bit today, obviously, as we've condensed and focused our ability to manage resources into a more efficient sorts of ways. And as we've condensed the amount of work and toil that needs to be done to keep your head above water, those things have changed. But what hasn't actually changed up here is the status of men and women in the family unit, and fathers make the world work. They're the ones who come back home and say, well, they can't actually do that. At some point, they got to go fucking work. That's what the dad's job is. I mean, this isn't controversial. I remember growing up, there's a cartoon that literally was called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And the dad would come home, his long ass day at work, right? And that was the big threat. Come home, he's tired, and he has to hear about all the shit his kids did during the day and go, okay, knock it off. Knock it off, you asshole, to the kid. And sometimes kids need to be told that they're an asshole and they need to knock it off. That's a dad's job. And it's one of the most important jobs on the planet. So when our fathers leave us, I pray to God that your father leaving you is a wound. What's the Ed Sheeran line? This is really gay. But he says, a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved, right? Like that is the pain and wounding you feel from your father's loss means that you had a dad worth losing. And that's something to recognize. So anyway, my personal tirade on dads. Dads don't get enough. I'm not asking for me. My kids, my wife, they honor me all sorts of ways, way more than I deserve. It's not me. It's everybody else. It's everybody else. It's society, it's popular media that don't value dads in the real way. Because of course they don't want you to. They want the government to be dad. They want the government to be disciplinarian through the jail system. They want the government to be disciplinarian through the police. They now want the government to be your counselor and your confidant, right? Like don't go talk to dad about your problems. Instead, we'll send a counselor instead of a police officer because we want a counselor to come over and help you work through your problems. Because you know what the dad would say, right? You know what the dad would say. The kid would be like, hey, dad, I'm having all sorts of trouble. Maybe not even a kid. Maybe it's an adult. They're like, oh, God, I'm having so much trouble. I'm really struggling with my workplace. I'm really breaking down. I'm kind of freaking out. I don't know what to do. I'm considering eating all these pills or whatever. And your dad's going to show up and go, hey, knock it the fuck off. Be like, what? And be like, look, I love you, but you're whining about work? You're whining about school? Everybody goes to work. Everybody does school. Why are you bitching about it? Well, they're just so mean. Hey, fuck you. Everybody's mean at some point. Somebody's been mean to everybody. You know what's mean? Extracting my labor and not paying me enough. Not giving me Thursday off so I can come to your soccer game or whatever. That's mean. When someone called you a name, who cares? So what? That's what the dad does. That's what the dad says. The government comes in, tells you, oh, it's okay. We've got a program for that. Oh my gosh, let's take you and put you in a padded room for a little while. We got to observe you for 72 hours. We got to make sure you're okay. And the dad's like, hey, what, you're gonna eat a bunch of pills? It's not even gonna work. You're so lazy. It's not even gonna work. Don't eat pills. It's just gonna make your stomach hurt like an idiot. What the fuck are you doing? Well, you think why do you need pills? You think I don't love you? You think other people don't like you? What about that Tom kid you're hanging around? Or whatever. He seems nice. Go hang out with him. I don't care if he's stupid. Get your ass over to his house and watch some anime or something. Oh my God. I'd rather have a furry than a suicide victim. Look, dads are there to not put up with shit. They're not. Red Foreman, that 70s show, he's a joke. He's a joke. But oh my gosh, does that kid need to be called a fucking dumbass from time to time? Right? Because he's being a dumbass. The daughter especially is being a dumbass. Sometimes kids need a little coddling. Most of the time, kids need a lot of reality. Anyway, this is a way weird tangent. Why did you do this to me? Let's see. The DCV Titan says, somewhere everyone will enjoy it. So Oz? Yes. Chris Dreyer says, Alien's going to use this lightning strike against Floyd as a perfect opportunity to invade to protect the George Floyd murals across the world. I heard the aliens are coming in 3 days. I can't wait. The John Beck says, is lightning damage from mortar moisture to steam? I don't know. Lord Crocosquirrel says, my boys get called dumbass rather more often than I'd like. Well, but is it more often than they'd need? No one wants their kid to be called a dumbass. No one wants their kid to be made fun of. No one wants to come home to their kid crying. No one wants to find out that their kid didn't get picked in dodgeball or whatever it is, right? No one wants their kid's friend to be an asshole to them. No one wants that. But sometimes a kid's friend has to be an asshole to them because when they grow up, their manager's going to be an asshole to them. Or their coworker is going to say that they're being lazy. Somebody's going to lie about them. Look, you've all dealt with it. You've all dealt with it in your life. Every one of you has had someone fucking lie on you. I have people lie on me every day. Every single day that I'm alive, someone is lying about me. Especially now that Twitter is out and I'm semi-public. I have people lie about me in chat. I have people lie about me on Twitter. I have people lie about me on videos. You know what? Who cares? Who cares? People are going to fucking lie. And if people hadn't made fun of me or lied about me in the past, I don't know how I deal with it today. But a long time ago, I'll tell you a personal story. It's in 9th grade, I think. 8th or 9th grade, but I think 9th grade. Got in a fight with some kid because he was making fun of my mom, right? He was making fun of my mom because it's kids, right? They make fun of people's moms. Kid never met my mom in his life. Making fun of my mom, and I was standing up. I was valiantly defending her honor like a good boy. I was like, hey, fuck you, man. Right? So we had a little altercation. And then I go home and I tell my mom about it, because I got in trouble. This wasn't your mom insults. This is a little bit more. This wasn't just like, yeah, your mom. Like, those are one thing. People specifically like telling you things. They weren't true. Again, they didn't know my mom. So it's not like they were actually in any way truthful. But it was just a little bit more targeted and specific than a your mom joke. And so I go home. I got in trouble. Mom's like, what happened? And I tell her, I'm like, well, they were saying this about you. They were saying this. And she goes, I don't care. And I was like, I know, but I'm supposed to care. And she's like, you shouldn't care either. It's not true. So what are you worried about? I was like, oh. I mean, I guess that's a good point, Mom. And it's like, why are you getting into this with this person over me? Why are you wasting your time and energy defending me from something that isn't true? Person has no power or sway over me. I'm like, oh yeah. I guess that's right. So, like I said, people lie about me all the time. Most of the time, you just ignore it because it's not true. So what are you wasting your time and effort on? What are you wasting your energy on? You're not going to be able to do much about it. Don't do anything about it. That's the dad's job. Of course, that was mom doing the job. My dad's like loading a gun. I'm just kidding. He actually wasn't. This is just a conversation between me and her. I don't know if he even knows that this happened. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was literally just. But that is the role, right? Like that is the role that parents are supposed to play. They're supposed to prepare you for the world. Sometimes that means you have to take the shitty things that happen today and turn them into a lesson for tomorrow. So, all right. Blood Goat says Lewis and Clark statue was there for decades, never got hit by lightning. George Floyd mural struck by lightning in under a year. A sign. Digitalis says, what's green, slimy, and smells like bacon grease? My finger. That's disgusting. I hate you for that. Human Crouton says, I'm imagining God flippantly destroying a George Floyd mural every time George annoys him or loses a bet in heaven. ASO says, just finished watching the movie Tomorrow War. It was mediocre at best. Definitely not something I would consider seeing in a theater. You should watch my review. Don't listen to this Philistine. Watch my review of the Tomorrow War on my Ricada Media channel. My review is based and truth-pilled, and you should watch it. Also, yeah, it's mediocre because it's a summer blockbuster movie. Who cares? It's lots of fun. Ryan79 says, sadly, WIC, Section 8, and Medicaid is dead now in many homes. True. True. Timothy Reaper says, regarding the Floyd Memorial, do you think we could see a repeat of 1 Samuel chapter 5? No. Stone Cold Negan, not only did I upload something on my media channel, I uploaded 2 things on my media channel, and my super based and anime titty-pilled thumbnail from the other thing got removed by the communist sacks of shit at YouTube. Fuck them. Fuck them. They removed it for nudity and sexuality when there was no nudity involved at all. It was bullshit. Bullshit. It was the best thumbnail I've done in my entire life. It was the literal best thumbnail. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It was a work of art. And YouTube pretending to be God threw a lightning bolt at it and struck it down. Notice how he didn't deny the sexuality? It wasn't sexual. It wasn't sexual at all. You want to see it? I've got it. I've got this thumbnail. I'll show you. I'm not scared of YouTube. Fuck them. Where did I put it? Hold on. I'm trying to see if I put it in a different thumbnail folder because it was a little bit different style. Where the fuck is this thumbnail? I know I have this thumbnail somewhere. Where did I put it? The fuck? Doesn't make sense. Where did I put the thumbnail? I had to save it somewhere to upload it, so I know it exists. I thought my Tomorrow War thumbnail was pretty good too, but it wasn't as popular as this one. Where the fuck is... God damn it. No, where is this? I gotta find this fucking thing. Here we go. Here we go. I found it. Look at this thumbnail. Look at that. Look at that master crafted thumbnail. Look at that thing. It's a great thumbnail. And they're like nudity. And I'm like, where, bitch? There's no nudity there. So the joke, so Wendy from Wendy's here, is modeled after Aphrodite from Record of Ragnarok, which is a very weird anime that's on Netflix right now. And Aphrodite has such giant tits that she sits in a chair, and the chair is two stone men with their hand up, you know, on one side, and then their other hand holding her massive gazongas because they need the support. So yeah, that's the joke, that they took Ronald McDonald and Colonel Sanders holding up Wendy's massive milk factories, and the Washington D.C. mayor, that's this face down here, this horrible German Shepherd face. That was she tweeted this image without the faces. There was French fries and like a burger on one of, you know, covering the nipples. In the original picture, I covered them with her face. So, and then I of course put me over the Ronald McDonald and the Colonel Sanders because that's what you do. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. YouTube says that that's like nudity and sexuality. May I remind you that YouTube literally has nude yoga streams. They have nude yoga, and the thumbnail for naked yoga is a woman sitting on her ass naked with her feet up and her hands holding her feet, and you're looking all the way in to her ovaries. That's a real thumbnail on YouTube, and they said that mine was nudity and sexuality. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I got to get my 1K likes drink. By the way, we're well in excess of 1,000 likes. Time to research this. Huh, my live viewers just dropped by 600. What? That's amazing. This is for you guys. This is Kentucky Owl 10-year rye whiskey. It's my favorite rye whiskey on the planet. This bottle costs more than I have made in super chats tonight. This is my 1,000 likes drink for you. XL Art says Record of Ragnarok anime is crap. Of course the manga is better. It's because the manga didn't have to animate the fights. That was the big letdown of the anime, was that the fights were shitty. Shittily animated. They were barely animated at all. But I kind of liked it. I liked the backs. I wish the fights were better animated, but I kind of like the backstories of all the stupid human powers. Joe Schmo says drinking an $85 bottle of whiskey isn't impressing anyone. This is a $300 bottle of whiskey. It's not the most expensive whiskey, but it's not cheap either. It's also, God, I think it's hands down my favorite rye whiskey that exists. Okay, so wait. I'm being told, I think people are having trouble finding nude yoga. So I will help you. Where's the vagina thumb? Did they finally remove? They might have removed the vagina thumbnail. There's plenty of, there's a whole lot of nude yoga thumbnails. Maybe I have to type naked yoga. Give me just a second. Oh, looking through these thumbnails is hilarious. Hot nude yoga. I wonder, I could probably find the old screen cap of it. I can't put it on stream though. Can't even put it, I can't put that anywhere. Look, so I type in nude yoga and I'm scrolling down and literally all I see are tits. This is all allowed on YouTube. There are so many nude yoga videos. What if I type in naked yoga Virginia? Okay. All right. I'm going to post a link in chat for you guys. Look at it at your own fucking risk. Whoops. This is not naked yoga. This video is called Female Anatomy Vaginal Test Exam Naked Education. It was posted 2 weeks ago. It has 700,000 views, and there's literally just a spread open vagina on the thumbnail. Vagina Brazilian wax training step by step. 360,000 views 1 month ago. The fucking video thumbnail is a vagina with a finger touching the clitoris so they can spread it out. The Kurz Yoga Motivation hashtag naked yoga relaxing with. Updated 7 days ago. That's a whole playlist, and the top playlist is a vagina. LIGO Challenge Female Anatomy Vaginal Test Exam Level 1. A vagina. Sex Education Female Anatomy Vagina and Vulva Examination. 7 months ago, 8.6 million views. Literally just a fucking vagina is the thumbnail. And my shit gets taken down. It's just a vagina. 7 months, 8 million views. 8 million. Increased sexual stimulation, vaginal rejuvenation with PRP with A-cell. O-shot. This is a vagina getting an injection into one of the labia. This is 10 months ago, 1.5 million views from a medical doctor. It's 56 seconds long. The thumbnail is a giant pussy. That's all it is. And I don't mean Keith Olbermann. I mean a literal vagina. The inconsistency of YouTube is fucking baffling to me. It is baffling to me. A non-nude anime picture that is a fucking joke is considered nudity and sexuality. I'm going to appeal that shit. I'm going to talk to my YouTube rep. I'm going to get my fucking thumbnail back. I will not stand idly by while anime titties are disregarded in favor of real vaginas. Not a chance. Jason Alator says, wonder how many of those naked yogi vids are Twitch thoughts. No idea. Safe 631 has asked if I saw the Nux Taku shit. Yes, I briefly talked about it yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do a short video today because yesterday I had to take one of my kids up to camp. Today I did a live stream because I didn't have time to do a bunch of short videos, so I did a 1 hour live stream instead. 1 hour live stream takes about half the time to 1/3 of the time the 3 short videos ultimately end up taking with creating all the thumbnails and getting everything ready and doing all that stuff and the research. And then tomorrow I have to go pick my kid up from camp, so I don't know what the short videos are going to be tomorrow if I'm able to get that. So we'll see. We'll see. I really want to talk about Nux Taku's situation. It's crazy. I've heard it's better. By the way, if you guys missed it, I did a live stream today during the day. I'm contemplating doing more daytime streams. What I really ultimately think I want to do is do daytime streams on Twitch with clips of those uploaded to YouTube. I think that's what I want to do because I think I need, 1, a backup platform. And 2, I think it's I think Twitch is actually a better suited platform for live streaming currently. I know some people think Twitch is dead and all that stuff, but I think Twitch is the better suited live streaming platform. And if I can build an audience there, I think I'll do really, really well with some stuff. And I am looking at expanding Twitch subscription capabilities and stuff like that. I just got to look into it. So, this stream will not change. So many of you have told me that you need a nighttime stream because you work overnights, because you're awake at night, whatever it is. This stream is here. This stream is the show. That's not going away. That's not moving. I've done a whole lot of shit to the detriment of this channel to maintain this live stream in the best way that I can. So, I like all of the decisions I've made about this channel have been considering the live stream show as the primary purpose of this channel. I could have put the live stream on the Ricada Law Live channel. I could have put it on the Ricada Media channel. I could have dedicated it. I literally have left, and this is not boasting, this is just reality. I have left tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table by not just converting this channel to a short video money grab. Because I could do that. I could have done that during the election and post-election. I could have kept that going and killed the live streams and made this channel into a literal $1 million channel. I didn't do that. Probably good, because I'm sure I would have gotten fucking banned like everybody else. But I didn't do that because this show is the show. This show is what I do. Because if I would have done that, no matter how much money I would have made or whatever, in the temporary interim, riding a trend, riding a fashion thing. So my friends did that and they got burned by it. But listen, whatever I would have gotten would have been outweighed by the crushing, soulless nature of the content. And I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. This show is what I want to do. This show is the most fun part of what I do. Eldon Bainling says, but most of your YouTube subs don't show up for Twitch streams. What do? Most of my YouTube, like my Twitch show starts at 2 a.m. If I had a daily schedule of a Twitch show at 1 p.m. Central Time or something, or 3 p.m. Central Time, we're talking a whole different ball game there. Consistency and a time during the day for the daytime streamers to be there, to the daytime viewers to be there. That's a whole different thing. Remember that in America, where reality exists, 2 a.m. is pretty late for the overwhelming majority of people. So anyway, the Twitch channel might actually happen sometime soon. Let's see. Next is RW Bimby says, start one of those reaction channels of all the naked women vids on YouTube. Commentary and critique on how educational they each are versus anime, dragon, anime. See if YouTube says those vids are okay to react. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. That'll be good. Maybe I'll just criticize the look of their vaginas. Look, that's not a pretty vagina. Look, I love licking vaginas. I love it. I eat clitoris all day, but that one, I wouldn't touch it. Not even with a 10-foot tongue. No, not even a serpentine Joe Biden tongue. Have you seen these lizard people? They're horrifying, horrifying. You'd think they'd want to lick vaginas all day. They don't. They don't want to do it. I wouldn't do that at all. You couldn't find me anywhere near that vagina. It's embarrassing. Horrible vaginas everywhere. So anyway, that was fun. Okay, we got one last story. I'm delaying it. I shouldn't be delaying this shit at all. Where is it? Look at this fucking beta. By the way, Twitter is removing fleets. Did you guys see that Twitter is removing fleets? Do you know why Twitter is ultimately removing fleets? Too many Twitter users were using fleets. It wasn't bringing new people to the platform. It was just bringing the same people to the platform, which should not fucking surprise anybody. Hold on, I have to find this tweet. Oh, by the way, guys, have you are you guys this I'm doing a pulse check on this one. I don't know. Are you guys familiar with My Patriot Supply? Patriot Supply? Are any of you interested in long-term food storage? I don't know. You know me. I don't get a lot of sponsorship opportunities because I talk about Trump licking vaginas. But Patriot Supply has reached out to me. And I thought maybe, like I got Rich Wallet from time to time. I thought maybe Patriot Supply would be a cool thing. I don't know. Patriot Supply, what they do is they give you like food that lasts 25 to 30 years that you keep in your cupboard in case of an emergency. So maybe I'll do it. I'm seeing mostly positive stuff in the chat on that. So look, if I've heard good things about them. I've heard of good things about them. Look, if they're going to send me shit to make and I get to cook food and eat it on stream, that's a great ad. I'm hungry. I'm starving right now. I've barely eaten today. I'm so busy. All day. I haven't had time to eat much of anything. I haven't been to the store since getting back from Matsuri. I haven't replenished because I was telling you guys, I'm trying to cut down on carbs. So I'm trying to eat a bunch of fucking meat and protein and cut the carbs because I know when I eat a bunch of carbs at night, like last night, I gained 2 pounds from eating carbs. When I eat a bunch of carbs at night, I gain weight. When I don't eat a bunch of carbs at night, I don't. But that means I need a shitload of protein. I'm starving. That's the long and short of this. I'm Eugenia Cooley right now. I'm basically anorexic like Tess Holiday. And so the idea of cooking some food and eating it on stream is great. But yeah, so I'll probably connect back with them. I got to get back to Raid Shadow Legends. That is the premier grift and I haven't done it. I got to get back to Raid. I've got to get back to Raid. All right, here we go. Here's the story. You seen this? You hear about this? Look at this fucking pussy. Piers Morgan says social media firms must end all anonymous accounts. If you want to spew vile abuse, you should be forced. Listen to this fucking Brit Bong. Listen to him. Forced to do so publicly under your genuine identity, not while hiding behind the cloak of billionaire-backed secrecy. Let's see how brave these racist morons are then. Here we go. Quote tweet, "You are a giant pussy." Pussy who doesn't deserve to be in America. Is Piers Morgan in America? I should find out. I think he is, isn't he? Didn't he come to the U.S.? Where is he now? No, he was ran off. Okay, we'll revise this. Who couldn't cut it in America, so you left like a bitch. You're a giant pussy who couldn't cut it in America, so you left like a bitch. This tweet is evidence of why you are so pathetic. Wait, let me put it in quotes. Someone was mean to me on the Twitters. Some sackless sack of garbage. You. Wait. Let's see. E.g. you. There we go. I think that works. Let's do it. Tweet. Fuck you, Piers Morgan, you piece of shit. Little Brit Bong pussy. Social media firms must end all anonymous accounts. You want to spew vile abuse? His entire career His entire career is literally like it's his America's Got Talent, England's Got Talent, or whatever, is him pretending to be Simon Cowell, spewing vile abuse to people. This fucking pussy is out here like, my feelings, my racism, fuck off. Your whole shtick is you trying to be a funny, edgy, tough guy, but within the bounds of network television. Within the bounds of network television. You wouldn't call anyone a vagina, right? Like a proper Australian. You wouldn't do fucking anything embarrassing at all. You're gonna be a pretend milquetoast offensive fucking pussy. Go away. Go back to Britain. Get fucking strap-on anal by the queen that you love so much. Fuck you. Nobody wants you around. I'm so goddamn tired of these people. Fuck all of them. Piers Morgan's not the only one, by the way. Not the only one. Not the only one at all. Let's talk about this subject. There's a whole movement to end this shit. To end an anonymity online. Let's see. How do I fucking find this thing? I thought maybe I sent it to myself. Hold on 1 second. Do I have it? Do I have it? Fuck, I don't have it, do I? Let me see. Typing in Sophia and just getting a lot of Sophia Narwitz, which is not what I'm looking for. Let me find it. Where the fuck is it? God damn it. There's a whole petition to end internet anonymity right now. Here we go. Look at this fucking garbage. Look at this. Freedom of expression is given to people who stand up for what they're saying and not hiding behind anonymity. Wrong! Wrong, you fucking bitch! Wrong! Wrong, that's a lie! Anonymity. Anonymity has shielded people from persecution and prosecution for the entirety of the United States. The Federalist Papers were published anonymously, you dumb fucking bitch! The Federalist Papers were published anonymously. Fuck you. You stop it. You get the fuck out. You get out. You get out of America. You don't fucking belong here. Anonymity is a cherished fucking right of free expression and free speech. Get out. Get out. You don't understand what free expression and free speech really means. Words in the Constitution are just words on paper when the government can fucking shut you down, when the government can send cops to your house, when the government can put you on a list. Anonymity guarantees freedom. These people want to remove anonymity. They want to remove freedom. Fuck every one of them. Get out. Get out! I'm tired of this fucking shit. Look, my name is out there. I put my name on everything I do. Every single thing has my fucking name attached to it. Because I'm a narcissistic piece of shit. Whatever you want. But, anonymous whistleblowers, anonymous reporters, anonymous critics, anonymous essayists, built this fucking country. They built it. It's not because they were scared. It's not because they were weak. It's not because they were hiding. It's because the persecution that followed was total and complete. It's not about fear. It's about preserving the message. The message is preserved by anonymity. Because when you put a name behind the message, you can criticize the name to discredit the message. The reality is that anonymity is free speech. Anonymity is free assembly. Anonymity is free expression. And forced by government or forced by government-backed corporation, exposure is the death of freedom. And fuck anyone who thinks different. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. By the way, now is an appropriate time to do this. YouTube has just unveiled a new feature. It's been in beta for a while, but it exists now, apparently. You can, you the audience, can clip up to 60 seconds of any video, kind of like Twitch, right? YouTube has been looking for how to mimic some of the good features of Twitch. You can clip up to 60 seconds of video from any video on YouTube now, and you can share that clip on social media with your own caption. If you like this, if you like something I say, I'm going to try and talk more about this. I meant to talk about it earlier, but now is an appropriate time. If you like something I say, if you think it's good, if you think it's funny, if you think it'll bring more people into the chat to be bullied, do it. Clip it. Share it. I can't express to you guys how much those short clips that you guys share sometimes, how many people those bring in, how many people those expose to the show. You may think that like everybody you know like watches this show or whatever, that like you know people from here or whatever show you're watching, not just me, of course, any YouTube creator you like. But it means a fucking lot to us. Enable it on all your videos, not just live streams. It is. It's not even me, Anthony James. It's a YouTube feature. It's not me at all. You guys want to see the email I get about this? Here we go. I'll show it. So this is to the YouTube creators. Here we go. I'll show you what they showed me. I don't even understand it. It's not up to me. I don't have to do anything on this one. Get in front of new audiences with clips beta. Asking you shall receive. Now viewers can easily share their favorite 5 to 60 second highlights from your videos or streams. Your fans post on their socials, you get more potential views. See how fans can share your highlights. Fans snip a clip. Clips is already enabled. Your viewers just need to hit the clip, drag the timeline to an epic moment, and write a caption. They spread the love. Fans share the link to their favorite clip with friends, and you get exposure. Look, I'm tired of exposing myself. To a whole new audience, it's that easy. There you go. That's it. That's the thing. I think you have to go after the stream is done. I think it's after the stream is done. So you probably have to go to the archive channel to do it. Because the stream isn't processed until something like hours after the stream is finished. So I don't think they clip live. Twitch, it's on posted videos. I don't know. Look, I've put in everything I can do on this. I think if you go to the archive channel, it might be there. It's not, I don't have an option for this. I don't have an option for this. This is a thing YouTube is rolling out, not me. Why are you picking on Piers Morgan? Because he's a piece of garbage. So, anyway, by the way, if you can use the clip feature, let me roll this back a little bit. If you can use the clip feature, which has been emailed to multiple channels of mine, multiple channels have this. My Ricada Media channel has it, apparently, and my Ricada channel has it. I don't know. But if you can use the clip feature, it's a wonderful thing to do. If you can't use the clip feature, then, you know, you can clip the videos yourself, too. That's a little more complicated. Gummy says, yeah, it's there on the archive. Yeah, I think it's for uploaded videos on the archive or processed videos, probably on the live channel. You can check my daytime stream, which is fully processed and live on the current channel here, and see if it's there. I think that's the trick. I think it just has to be a processed video, and live streams are not processed until usually a couple hours after the stream ends. So if you guys want to do that, if you like a rant that I do, I don't know what you guys like, right? Like I can clip stuff out myself and put it up and be like, this is cool. If you guys like a rant and you think your friends are going to like it, clip it, post it everywhere. That shit helps immensely. And I really appreciate when you do it. So YouTube has implemented a way to apparently do it more. Go for it. Let's also remember this. Let's remember the reality of social media. Hong Kong's vigorous legal profession is finding itself increasingly forced to adapt to a communist concept of governance. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. What matters is the fact that anonymity is critical in China. In China, anonymity matters. It's life and death. It's literally life and death. And these fucking blue check marks, who, by the way, they wanted to be blue check marks. That's how they got it. They want their name attached to it because they're all grifters on social media. Of course they are. Piers Morgan wants his name, which is his brand, attached to everything. Me too. I want everything I say to be attached to me. I don't want some other piece of shit taking credit for it. Me. Narcissism, branding, and money drive my decisions, of course. Why else would I be on the internet? Like if I was a mousy non-narcissist, I'd just be I'd be asleep in my bed right now. But in China, criticism of the government requires anonymity. In North Korea, criticism of the government requires anonymity. I will say in the UK and Canada, we're talking about those weird rice-sucking regimes. The UK and Canada requires anonymity to have real criticism because they don't have a First Amendment. They don't have functional freedom of speech. They have pretend. They have bollocks, as they would say. Australia, New Zealand, do you think they have First Amendment protections? They don't. The Western world, other than America, requires anonymity. Because America is somehow still, despite all of our failures, despite all of our problems, we are still based and red-pilled on free speech. And these fucking garbage heaps want to take it away because they make millions of dollars a year. Literally, someone said in the chat, someone said in the chat, Piers Morgan makes $24 million a year. Where is this fucking tweet? There's a huge thing about not being anonymous on the internet right now. There's a huge movement about it. Oh, verified ID. That's what I want. Verified ID. Try and find it real quick. Here's a petition. These people are signing petitions. Make verified ID a requirement for opening a social media account. Here we go. Paul Bernal says real names is a bad idea. Good. There's at least some people in here. Niche Gamer says no social media should not require verified ID, you lunatics. There's smart people out there. There's smart people out there. I think last night and events today highlight why this is important. Make verified ID a requirement for opening a social media. Do you know what last night and the events today are that Craig Keaty is talking about? The N-word was trending on Twitter because England lost the World Cup. Let's just fucking focus on that for a second. Or not the World Cup, the Euro Cup or whatever. England lost the Euro Cup. And a whole bunch of people blamed black people and wrote the N-word on Twitter. Because of that, they're like, oh, verified ID matters. 445,000 tweets with the N-word. Look, England takes its soccer really seriously. But that's what they wanted. That's the reason. That's what this guy is saying. Sign the petition. Madness that this isn't already a requirement, says Amber Davies. 380,000 followers, London TV theater actress. Right? Of course she wants her name on everything. Look at this fucking thought. Look at this. What are those arms? Her arms reach down to her fucking toes without her bending over. This is an e-thought in the making. Of course she wants it on there. She wants to be branded. She doesn't have anything dangerous to say. She doesn't have anything controversial or important to say. She's just spitting out the fucking semen she took in. Fuck e-thoughts. They don't have anything to say other than, here's my tits, please give me $5. Fuck all these people. All of them deserve the gas. None of these people are saying anything important. None of them have said a controversial sentence in their day. They're literally like, please look at my fucking spread labia. That's it. That's it. Of course they don't want to be protected. Of course they don't. Sign and retweet Josh Faircloth. This is a simp, clearly, with no followers. Who else do we have? We need to see a change. Ellie Anderson, 4,000 followers with an Instagram and a thirst trap picture. Wonder why she wants verified ID. There needs to be accountability for online behavior. Notice he doesn't have it. He just says Alex Hill. I guess Alex Hill is his name. I don't know. Something needs to be done from Luke Simpson, professional footballer. Was a football club. Now this is really a petition to get behind. Far too many keyboard warriors out there. Look at this shit. 680 fucking thousand people who don't value freedom. They want you on a list. Make it a legal requirement when opening a new social media account to provide a verified form of ID. Thank God. Thank God the Supreme Court of the United States literally just struck this down in regards to donor lists and charitable organizations. Thank fucking Christ. We have a Supreme Court who would strike this down. I guess that's a video tomorrow. Government responded. The online safety legislation will address anonymous harmful activity. User ID verification for social media could disproportionately impact vulnerable users, interfere with freedom of expression. Oh, thank God. Thank God they actually recognize what's going on. But the commies are trying to make it a thing. Get this signed and retweeted. Vicky McClure, 445,000 followers. Nottingham, born and bred. Who is this? Who is this fucking person? Let's try and bring about change. Sign below. I've changed my view on verified ID as a requirement for social media. Yes, anonymity breeds toxic behavior. But so many people, the marginalized, the ill, or those living under authoritarian regimes depend on it. We need an urgent solution, though. Online abuse is a health issue. Matt Haig, stop being a fucking pussy. The midnight liberty? No. Online abuse is not a health issue. Online abuse is easy to cure. Close your eyes. Delete your account. And walk the fuck away. And come back with an anonymous account. Oh, library. It says library. I read it as liberty. Look, you assholes make me drink. Still, my point stands. My point stands. This should be a requirement anyway, Jess X. We're against voter ID because there was no demand for it until after Obama won. Wrong. This is actually false. Republicans called his election fraud. This is entirely false. Voter ID has been a long-standing issue. All we need is signature attestation. Every voter who is registered and comes to vote has had their identity verified. ID is a scheme. That's a different thing. This person's absolutely incorrect. How does this person have 335,000 followers? Do this now. From Ed, head of product design, BTUK. Kaz! Everybody tweeting out this petition to make social media accounts require a verified real ID should put their full names, address, etc. in their profiles. I see many anonymous accounts posting it. Yep, good job, Kaz. Absolutely right. Let's make a difference from Oakley Rivers. Non-anonymity doesn't guarantee good behavior. Plenty of easily identifiable racists, etc. on Facebook. Making verified ID a precondition of operating a Twitter account will silence the vulnerable. Good. James Roberts is right here. There's so many blue checks who want this. So many blue checks who want verified ID. Please sign this, people. Be a huge step bringing proper accountability. Nope. No. Nope. No. 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 Get away. We don't want you. We don't need your help. We don't want you. And we don't want this. I hate Twitter and Facebook as much as everybody. I hate anonymous accounts on Twitter and Facebook that come on. I hate impersonator accounts that come on Twitter and Facebook and say a bunch of shit. I hate all that. I do. But anonymity is important. It is a requisite to freedom. Rich Clark with a big chat says Nick needs to go on Joshua Smith's podcast, Break the Cycle. He's a red-pilled Rothbardian that sits on the Libertarian Party National Exec Council. At Joshua at Large on Twitter. You could also talk about liberty, Kyle Rittenhouse, and grifting. I would love to. I don't know who that is, but I'd love to do it. Okay, let's wrap up this stream because I'm heated. I'm annoyed. And it's time to go watch a based in red-pilled movie. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to watch a movie tonight. If you want to come watch a movie with us, we've got some good ones. We've got some good ones. Doug Tenaple. What do you... Eagle Own, what about Doug Tenaple? I love Doug. I love Doug. Doug's great. What do you want? What do you want from me on Doug? You want him to come on the show? I'll work on it. He's been very busy. I want to do another Chad Dad stream. I love the Chad Dad streams. I think they're important. They don't get a lot of views, by the way. The Chad Dad streams, people are like, I'm not going to do those. I'm not going to do the Chad Dad streams. I think they're wildly important. Pixlexia, don't you ever fucking lie about me again. Andrew War Snowbird, you're wrong. Game night is tomorrow. Get Dick Masterson on again? Would love to. He's had COVID. We want Peacock? Me too. Eldon Bainling says Chad Dad streams are boring. Imagine being a spermless monster like Eldon Bainling and thinking that Chad Dad streams don't matter. Okay, here we go. All right. Looking for where I left off. All right, here we go. Where did we leave off on this? Justice chance. Crusader Saracen says, may Allah bring dark hours and disaster upon Canada, that wretched nation of leafs and cowards with an insufferably smug demeanor and an unearned sense of superiority in any respect. Bad Dragonite says, you talking about the armor reminds me of the trailer for SW Battlefront 2, where some stormtroopers show up and actually manage to hit the enemies. And the characters they save say, I didn't know they were sending special forces. Xenoguy3 says, follow up from Matsuri. Put together a D&D stream with Vic. Look, I don't think Vic wants to do a D&D stream. Grift for crits. Unless I haven't played before, is Vic. Nice code for STFU Weeb. No, he's literally not played D&D before. It's not a thing. In which case, I'll stop bothering him and just bother you about it. Vic hasn't played D&D. That's not his thing. He likes his gay pants and his panels or whatever. I don't know that he'd be opposed to it. I think he'd have a fun time playing it, but he's never played it. Chris Nemo says, I'm agnostic, and even I think God's trying to tell these guys something. Zeus says, Nicholas, my son, Jupiter asked me to zap the St. Floyd Memorial because the unicorn that flung him into the sun with his horse cock became addicted to fentanyl. Now we got a junkie unicorn, so I'm coming to Earth, snort meth, and bang whores with Kool-Aid Man. Okay. All right. Silky Johnson says, Nick saying having a broken heart when you lose a loved one because you were loved struck me in the black hole that is my soul. My grandpa was my father figure, and I'm not even his biological grandson, but he loved me as if I was a great man who is missed. Malik Foxton says, that Zeus versus Floyd mural video I found on YouTube on a channel named High X for whoever wanted to find it. HIGHEX, High X. Kraubnabitha says, LMFAO, keyboard warrior, what is this, 2014? Yes. He also says, these people are using internet lingo from nearly a decade ago. These people don't even keep up with the internet, yet want to have a say in controlling it. What a bunch of smooth brains. I agree. Yeah, that line, a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved, it's a thing to remember, right? It's a thing to remember. If you're stung by the passing of someone, that means they had an influence on you. It means you cared because they cared. And it's a nice reminder. Ascended, Not So Handsome Jack says, don't worry, Nick. It just shows YouTube and the left hate beautiful women with huge biddies. May the Japanese live long and prosper from anime biddies. That's true. That's true. Daniel, the one, says, did you and Dex break up? I think you mean Drex. No, he was down at Anime Matsuri. He came down a couple days after I did. I barely saw him there, though. He had his kid with him, and they were, that's dad and kid time. And they got to hang out with each other a lot. Hopefully, this weekend, I think he's not. I think he might come out next weekend. I got to talk to him. I don't know. Viden, the cold one, says, thanks for the kind words. I lost my mom before my dad, and I didn't realize how much my dad meant to me until he was gone. He was so stubborn and stoic. And that is a virtue to you. What's the country song? I'm not going to sing it because that's gay. Daddy's hands were, let's see. Daddy's hands were soft and strong when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I've done wrong. He wasn't always gentle, but I came to understand there was always love in Daddy's hands. Great song. Great song. Old school country. But yeah, the stubborn and stoic nature of dads. Maybe might have been soft and kind when I was crying. It's just a visual on how dads are. They're soft when their kids are hurt, but they're strong when the kids are wrong. They got to teach them the right thing. Ryan Acorn says, so I've heard you rant on many a stream, but I've yet to hear your justification. On your futa, why balls and follow-up would you have to move them out of the way? No, balls hang down, so they wouldn't be in the way of anything. But second, why balls? Because if you have a dick without balls, it's just weird. Sage Emerald says, get Johnny Massacre on, please. Okay. Mr. Bentham says, Nick, post video with great thumbnail. YouTube, remove that. Nude spread eagle yoga video already exists. YouTube, we see nothing wrong here. Blood Goat says, your channel has to be set up as an adult channel. They won't mess with you. That's not happening. Jackson Kai says, your link let me find there's a Reddit r/YouTube naked dedicated entirely to all the nudity on YouTube. So yeah, Susan tripping. Matthew Harder says, Trump voice. Jesus, Nikki, those jugs are as depressing as two sunny side up eggs nailed vertically, not horizontally, vertically on a concentration camp wall. Sad, depressing jugs. I've seen much better jugs, honestly. Jugs everywhere. You got jugs all over the place, and those are what you pick? Very unfortunate. Lil Meme says, I need this stream like I need balls on my Fuda. Victor Phantasm says, wanted to say this last stream. I would have preferred the gas. Also, furry VTubing is useless. Furries are dumping money into suits, art, and shit not related to paying rent, food, med bills, or savings. Eldon Bainling says, take all sponsorship except Raid Shadow Legends. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I got a NordVPN one, too. I should probably follow up with that. Vienticus Prime says, requiring people to provide IDs to use social media is racist against black and brown people who have no way to get them. Nailed it. Neo Zed says, I'm always laughing how many UK media types want China-style dystopia but don't have the balls to come live here. Piers is no balls. Longreach Jones says, let's not forget Ben Franklin, a.k.a. Silence Do-Good. Wolfgang Deo says, anonymity is what let you know about who I am and the ideas I play with in the background. As a former quasi-spook, anonymity always exists. Dex Luther says, I thought requiring ID because certain people are dumb and can't get one. Any Lucas Painter, welcome to Paralegal Status. My pleasure to have you here. Philibooty says, how's clipping going to work with unlisted vids? You can clip them from the archive channel. Actually, but they stay unlisted. I don't know. Once I move them to private, does that make them move from? Does that mess with the clips? I have no idea. Angry Bellsprout says, how you feel about numerous charges dropped in Austin 6th Street mass shootings versus Fort Hood soldier getting arrested years after he shot a commie armed with AK-47 running up on him. You ever watched the interview prior? No, I have no idea about any of that. Tex Luther says, I thought requiring ID was racist because certain people are too dumb to get one. Trident Titan says, my friend told me we needed a mobile gas chamber app. Maybe it would be useful. Fanticus Prime says, social media ID equals more break-ins at e-thought homes. Jose Alfredo Saucedo Jr. says, remember when YouTube and Google first partnered up and forced everyone to get a Gmail account? It was also the day they switched my username to my real name. Should probably fix that. Do it. Jackson Kai says, remember when Blizzard tried to force players of World of Warcraft to post under their real name in 2010? Pepperidge Farms remembers. I actually don't. That's interesting. Fan Advocacy Network says, we've been told repeatedly that asking for ID verification is racist, negatively impacts minorities and people of color. What happened to that? Look, an agenda happened to that. How dare you, you bigot. We're doing that. Okay, there we go. We're ending the show. It's over. It's done. We're going over to Twitch. We're going to watch a movie. I don't know what movie it's going to be. I've got a bunch of them in the hopper. It's good stuff. Come check it out over there. Until then, I'm going to go make some food. I'll see you over on Twitch. Have a good night. Peace. Peace. Wait a minute. Benjamin Meyer says I missed his super chat. Holy shit, I did. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I missed a couple after that. Benjamin Myers says, yo mama so large. When she hauls ass, she has to make 2 trips. 5th attempt to send. Thank you, Benjamin. I am so sorry for missing that. That is on me. I'm a giant asshole. You got grifted. ASO says YouTube sells high school DXD. Doubt the thumbnail is as sexual as that. Lamau. And Gnome John says, stop forcing your fever dreams on us, Nick. We know you aren't creative enough for that. There we go. Though that's the chats I missed, and then we had 2 come in. Aki Kama says, posted a clip on your show announcement tweet. Play it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see, show announcement tweet. What do we have here? Oh, you son of a bitch. All right, I'll play it real quick. Here we go. As if I'm the idiot. Who put the mayo on the bread before the meat? What kind of sandwich witchery is? Who at home has ever taken a piece of bread, slapped meat and cheese on it, and then slathered the mayo on top of that before putting lettuce on it? It doesn't make any sense. Why is this? I've been complaining about this for fucking 18 years. 18 years. And they squirt mayo on the top of the taco like it's crema. It's not crema, it's mayo. Mayo goes on the bread. You spread it on the bread, you Philistine degenerate. As if... Whoa! God damn it. Whoa, I didn't see that coming at all. Neither did they, apparently. Oh my God. There's another one? What's the other one? That's it. I Am Soder did a better one. Where's his? I don't know where it even is. Holy, I watched the I Am Soder one on Locals. I don't have it handy, if that's what you're talking about. Holy shit. True story. True story. Kidda says Blizzard was talking about requiring real names, so someone posted one of their moderators' home address plus the color of their bedroom wall. Holy shit. And then Phoenix Lord Asterman says, since we're talking freedom, Braveheart is on Prime. It is. It is. All right. Now that I've actually taken care of all the chats, I'll see you over on Twitch. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a Balmore, a Lafroig. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Doug T to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who's playing